Blessings, man. I want to go into something a little deeper. I watch this guy I listen to. His name is Timothy Alberino. He recognizes that it was a kinetic war between the fallen races and, I would say, God. You know, the Tower of Babel back in the Great Deluge of when Enoch was around in Genesis and everything, and so on and so forth. With the unholy races versus God's prophets and chosen ones, but you know, the thing is I don't know if too many of you have actually experienced I'm trying to take and go with that I'm trying to say is, I don't know how many of you have ever experienced the different levels, different stages of sleep paralysis, or I'll go into people who have been abducted by aliens, for instance, and this is what he goes into, and it seems all too real in my case, because even you can connect this with sleep paralysis as well, that it comes over a person, and I would believe it would be the same thing when you're, for people who have ever been abducted. Leave in the comment sections if you know anyone that's ever been abducted, but you feel like a weird, I would only can describe it because my different levels of sleep paralysis that I've ever faced, it was like steps. It was like the first time I ever experienced it. It was like, you know, you hear talk about people, okay, obviously you can see like you're caught up in your dream or caught in a dream. It's like you can't move your body, but yeah, you can see and look around everywhere around you, and it's like you see shadow people moving everywhere. That was kind of like my first step. Second time it happened, I can recall of actually something trying to communicate and speak with me, and the voice sounded evil. It was evil. It was almost like a grunting noise / unhuman, a voice that was not human. I don't know if you've ever heard the story of like the Mothman, how they say that they don't know what it is, like it talks just like a person does. People have they've had stories of like seeing it and getting these weird calls over the phone and talking about seeing it and hearing the thing's voice, and it sounds just like a human being's, but it's evil. It was something like that. And if you ever seen the movie The Fourth Kind, you can compare it to something similar to that. Like all these different phenomenons, like the owls at the windows, 3 a.m., people having sleep paralysis and seeing and stuff like that. I want to go ahead and say that the last time I ever had sleep paralysis was when I went to Chicago, and I've told this story plenty of times, but any of you never heard of it. When I went to this hotel, to this Johnson Howard Inn in Addison, Illinois. I didn't watch any scary movies, but apparently at the time I was playing around with alchemy, like these alchemy books, Aleister Crowley books, botany, stuff like that. And basically all that stuff goes into the nature, alchemical changes, phases, the different zodiacs, whatever. And apparently when I went to sleep and woke up at 3 a.m., something flew into my room, two beings that flew through the wall with red eyes, and they look like owl people or owl humanoids with red glowing eyes. And I think they tried to communicate, but the thing is that I didn't hear them say anything really. The room, I can tell you if you've never experienced sleep paralysis, but I'm sure that if you ever hear someone who's abducted can connect to the same thing, that there is some kind of energy or force field that enters into the room, that it's almost like the most wretched, disgusting, evil energy. You could feel it's like a force field. It seems like it's a force field because it's almost like you can't talk. You're like almost like in this desert, evil force field. Can't barely even move. You have to literally put all your energy and strength to even moving. And so when I was in it, and I was like in this force field, I could see literally, it was like in front of me, the room was literally spinning and shaking. Like, it seemed like there was an earthquake going on. It's almost like the whole room was about to explode, and the levels of evil in the room were off the charts. And the thing is like, I could see the TV do a complete 180 on its own. The mattress came off the bed. I was crying out for God just to save me. But I know the room was still after that. But I'm trying to say in this message that, you know, everything does connect in a way. People who have been abducted can have the same events that I did with my sleep paralysis, and all of it can go into the same things when you hear about encounters of the first kind, the second kind, the third kind. The fourth kind is like when you actually encounter these things, and you can see these humanoid things. Yeah, they're demons, but anyone, I'm trying to say all this is connected basically, and my message is to get the point across. All this is connected. And going back to the Timothy Alberino thing, he likes to say, oh, well, it's just a kinetic war. That can be true going into Revelation 13 of the Bible. But the thing is, deciphering the kinetic war between like, they come from the new God that was in Enoch or whatever, the aliens. Deciphering the kinetic war from the spiritual battle, basically. It's like, it's both, basically. But basically, it's like the kinetic wars against God, yeah, I could say. And you can bring in all the Marvel movies and everything else into this, but at the end of the day, it is all a spiritual battle, you know. All this connects, but it's all a spiritual battle at the end of the day. Kinetic war, yes, Revelation 13, that is true. But at the same time, it is a spiritual battle too that we have to face. It's just like we have to face it head on, you know. Where else are we gonna go, you know? We can't go anywhere else. We're here in this life one moment, and the next life, in the next second we could be gone. The next moment we're gone into the next life. And whatever we chose to do with God in this life will determine where we go in the next life. Will determine our destination. And still, so many people still don't want to believe that, but God so loved the world that He gave us all free will. People tend to ask, why is there so much evil? And then I would have to come back with the same question. Well, why do all humans have free will? To choose either the good or the bad to do what they want in this life. So, God bless, and fire and us. Godspeed.